Hello, in this video we will discuss about the Entamoeba Histolytica and their infection and their cycle we will discuss here in this video. So let's begin to understand. First of all, I want to share the information about the Entamoeba Histolytica. Basically, the Entamoeba Histolytica is an anaerobic parasitic amoebozoan. So it is basically grow in the absence of carbon oxygen while in the presence of carbon dioxide and part of the genus Entamoeba. So the it is the predominantly infection human and other primates causing amoebiasis, and it is Entamoeba histolytica is estimated to infect about 35 to 50 million people worldwide and kill more than 55,000 people each year. So that is the information about the Entamoeba histolytica. So let's begin to understand another mechanism and another things we should need to understand about the Entamoeba histolytica. So the Entamoeba histolytica is the 10% infection while the Entamoeba dispar is a 90% infection. It means the Entamoeba dispar is 90%. But here we will just understand about the life cycle. Both Entamoeba contain a similar life cycle. So here is the digestive system. So the infection is begin from the digestive system from the Entamoeba. So here is the salivary gland, and here is the esophagus, liver, stomach, large intestine and small intestine, as well as the rectum, anus, appendix and cecum. You can see in this diagram to understand as well. So on the other hand, the food contamination of Entamoeba histolytica is the major cause for the infection. So the clean food is very important for the prevention of infection of Entamoeba histolytica. So the different foods when contaminate with the Entamoeba histolytica. So it is basically are present in the feces contain Entamoeba histolytica and soil and survive only in a month. So the water is also contain cyst survive outside the host in the water, and that is the contaminated water can also cause the Entamoeba histolytica amoebiasis. So here is the survive only in a month. So here this is the Entamoeba histolytica cyst formation we can kill from the heat and cold. So we can preserve our heat temperature increase of the food to kill the Entamoeba histolytica. So the cooking of the food is very most important for the prevention or cold. So here the food contamination of Entamoeba histolytica will move into the oral cavity, digest and go into the esophagus. So let's begin to understand. When food will go with the cyst swallow with the food go into the esophagus to the stomach. When the stomach will move into the in the form of bolus, and it's contain a immature cyst to convert the mature cyst. So the mature cyst and immature cyst is the basically the little bit similar differentiation, but the mature cyst contain a 4 nuclei. These 4 nuclei we will discuss here. So these 4 nuclei of the mature cyst, which that is excistation. So the excistation mean the escaping of the nuclei in the form of basically the after the development or nutrition which that's come from the digestive system of the human. So the digestive system. So the mature cyst is here, and excistation will be occur. In this way, the only trophozoid with 4 nuclei emerges, divides once to produces 8 trophozoids from each cyst, or 4 trophozoids, because 4 nuclei, so we can say that the 4 trophozoids. So the 4 trophozoid will be produced in the duodenum, and in the duodenum or in the small intestine. After the production of trophozoids, we can prevent drug is known as the nitroamidazole. So the nitroamidazole is used for the prevention of the trophozoites as well as cyst exist in stool. Cyst affect less this nitroimidazole, which that is used less for the cyst prevention. While it is from the small intestine into the large intestine, and these large intestines contain ascending transverse and descending colon, sigmoid colon, and thus a rectum and anus. So here is the trophozoid will enter into the large intestine, and this will lead to grow and multiply by binary fission. So the asexual reproduction will increase the trophozoids in the case of large intestine, while the ancestation immature cyst formation will also occur. So the trophozoids will convert into the, here is the trophozoid, and this trophozoid basically convert into the cyst formation. So the ancestation immature cyst form. So this is the immature which contain one nuclei. After the replication by feeding from the host to produce the 4 nuclei, 3 to 4, and this 4 nuclei is known as the quadrinucleate cyst. And this quadrinucleate cyst is the non-infection if the non-infect in the human due to the mucous membrane thickness and the fitness will not cause the infection to the human. While the mucous membrane we will discuss about in the next. So here is the non-infection. So the non-infected quadrinucleate cyst will move out from the feces or stool. So the cyst exists in stool, and this cyst can be survive only in a month. So I hope you are getting this concept. So let's begin to understand about the infection cycle and how to infect our body. So let's begin to understand the Entamoeba Histolytica infection. So here I am again drawing the large intestine for understanding. So it is contain ileum is here, which that is the small intestine will lead to move the trophozoids again inside, and this again inside move to binary fission. After the binary fission, the invade the intestinal mucosa. So the intestinal mucosa will lead to invasion. So after the invasion is basically the different problems can cause after the invasion. So the thinning of mucous membrane can be. So the binary fission here you can see and understand as well. So the invade the intestinal mucosa after the invading, so you can understand. So this is I am drawing the bigger picture of the large intestine for understanding. So here is the blood vessel, and this is the enterocyte, and this is the mucous membrane, and this is the microbiome. This microbiota is basically present for the mutualism to produce short chain of fatty acid and other things for the health of the human. So here is the feeding the bacteria. So the best food is the bacteria for the trophozoites. So after the feeding it will be survive, but if the mucous membrane will be thin, and the enterocytes will create the gap, and after the gap that will move into the extracellular fluid. After the movement into the extracellular fluid, it can resident, or it can stay here, or it go into the blood circulatory system, so the blood stream. So after the blood moving into the blood stream, so the what will be happen, let's discuss now. So here is the blood stream I am drawing again for understanding. This is the blood stream, blood vessel, which that is basically important things you should need to understand. The AIDS, which that contain HIV. In HIV is the parasite of the human, and this is the basically trophozoite will eat the parasite. Trophozoite will eat the HIV and kill the Entamoeba histolytica. Entamoeba histolytica will kill. So that is important things. So the HIV is basically kill the Entamoeba histolytica, not Entamoeba histolytica will kill, but the kill the Entamoeba histolytica due to the infection like a CD4 T cell. So HIV is the parasite of the trophozoites. So here is after the move the blood vessel from the digestive system to the portal vein will move into the liver, and the liver is the basically the infection cause, and liver abscesses will be occur. So the pus will create in the cell of the liver, hepatocyte, and other infection to lead to increase the inflammation, and after the inflammation the cytokines and chemokines will be produced, which that is used for the immune cell activation. After the immune cell activation, the recruitment of the immune cell toward the infection site. So that is why the inflammation will be increased, and on the other hand the cell death. While on the other hand here is the brain infection. So the brain infection is the tissue destruction and the amoebic brain abscesses and the pus formation and cell death. On the other hand, the respiratory tract and lungs infection is due to the Entamoeba histolytica, and alveolar sac destruction and breathing problem can be occur, and pus formation. So it is also the lungs abscesses will be occur. So the pus creation. So here is the metronidazole and the chloroquine is used for the prevention of this infection of the liver. So on the other hand, here you can see this is the lungs infection and alveolar sac destruction, breathing problem, etc., etc. So that is important things you should need to understand. While let's begin to understand the diagnosis of amoebiasis. So the amoebiasis is the collectively cause the infection of the Entamoeba histolytica. So the Entamoeba histolytica is used for this infection. So that is the we can examine the microscopic examination through a feces, a tissue examination through microscope. A protoscopy is also used for it, and blood test can also use, and feces antigen detection is also. So the feces antigen detection, and on the other hand the PCR is also used for the checking of the Entamoeba histolytica DNA, and on the other hand we can understand as well that is the major diagnosis of amoebiasis. While the treatment and the prevention, we can cook the food as well as boil the water and prevent from the contamination of the Entamoeba histolytica. So that is the Entamoeba histolytica video. So thanks.